with motion, you want to start it off with a slight ease in whichever direction you want the object to go, because the object needs to sort of charge up before it moves. Otherwise, it's gonna look unnatural. So you can see a slight ease downwards, and then the hair here lags behind because, I don't know, it just feels right. It's not stiffly attached to the head, so it acts separately from the head. You can see this is the overshoot, and then it goes back up just slightly. And you can see the hair catches back up, and then it goes down back into position. So the hair does the same thing, slight ease into this big sort of drop, like an overshoot here, and then ease backwards. And then this is kind of like the reset frame that resets back into this. That's for the head. And now here, normally if this was just starting up, I would ease from here to here. But since this is animated as a loop, it looks better without the easing. Here you can see the hoodie strings do the same thing as the hair for the same reasons. And here in slight ease down with a noticeable bend of the wrist. You see the thumb kind of stays in the same position, but the wrist moves downwards. Also sort of like smear frame weird thing. And then here as well, you can see the wrist is bent, so it like sort of lags behind, just like the hair and the hoodie strings. And then just easing back down, and then just like the reset. So next we have the arcs. So you can see the head move in like this sort of weird Dorito triangle, and the here with the neck part and like the overall body, you can see it behave the same. And it just sort of looks better if the path of motion, as I call it, is repeated for here. Elbow arcs, you can see it's not super like accurate to where it actually is, but it's like gets the point across. You see easing here into sort of big gaps here, and then more easing. Same thing with the arms. It's like there's always a couple frames of easing. Like usually it's just one, but sometimes you can have multiple. And then the next one is a flip that this stickman does. So I don't think it looks too bad. Obviously, it's a stickman, and I can't animate an actual person doing a flip because that's way too difficult. Also, I'm really bad with this type of stuff. You see how big this guy is? Yeah, if I go to the last frame and I paste him in, yeah, it's really bad. I'm really bad with consistency, but with animation, you want to keep everything consistent if you want it to look real and believable. Aside from the consistency, I think this is alright, I suppose. So you can see easing, a slight ease down, and then the arms move up as the body moves down for like a contrast. And I think it's a counterweight when you're doing an actual flip or something, I don't know. Yeah, more easing, and then this into like a weird looking smear frame where all of his joints are like weird. This is the stretch of the head with a squash and stretch. I think you have to follow the rule of the volume still being the same. Like I kind of just like eyeballed it, but I think this actually has too much volume compared to like this. And then this is the jump, rotating backwards. It looks really weird here, and then down. Here's overshot a bit, and then it just comes back and it goes back up. And then you can also see here are the arcs. So this is just for the head, but the body pretty much follows this as well, somewhat. So you can see easing here into like a big gap. The gap with the distance between these two frames is to represent how fast the motion is. It shows that the stickman is flipping and he's doing it really quickly. And then for the last one, what happened? Oh, alright. It's this wave for this dude. He's like here and he's like, hello. So this one it's all right. It could be. I think this head looks a bit unfinished towards the end. I think there's only 1 frame of easing. I think 3 there would have been better, but I mean, it's all right. For the notes, again, the easing and then the arm coming out. The hoodie strings, you can see, go slightly up as the rest of the body moves downwards. You can see it came back up, and then the stretch of the fingers, and then this also like a smear. I would say this is a necessary case for smears. Actually, here also there's a mistake. You can see how the arm kind of stays in the same position. It even looks like it gets lower, which that's not good. So overshot a bit, like the whole body is like slightly higher and then it comes back down in the next frame. You can see with the head, the hair does the lag thing again, and then it comes back down, ease up, and then like a big motion again to emphasize speed. You can see it comes back down, hair catches up, and then this is like the 1 frame. I think it would have been better if I added 2 more there, but you can see the hand gets all weird here, and also with the hoodie strings, you can see they get stretched and then they come up and then they go back down. With the hand flop, when you're waving, your hand isn't completely stiff, but it isn't completely limp either. So here I just made it like more limp than it actually would be to add to like the appeal, because if you have a boring animation, no one's gonna like it, no one's gonna watch it. Here you can see, I think I did all right with this hand. It overshoots because the motion is like at an abrupt end, and then the hand again isn't like stiffly attached to like the cuff of the sleeve or whatever, so it's gonna like flop around. Alright, yeah, that's it.